Tell you a little bit about Signature Farms. It's a limited partnership between JBS and individual swine producers. We're in 5 states, 20,000 sows that we oversee. Don't own all those. Market 600,000 pigs. Have 150 contract growers thereabouts, and about 9 toll mills that we work with. So I'll tell you a little later how we got into that business, but there's kind of a map, and the stars are kind of where we're located. A little bit about myself. I started with JBS on the research farm in 1974, and I've been with United, so that's 36 years. If we talk about some of the things that's happened in the past 2 years, we've come through some ugly times with hog prices and increased corn prices, and trying to get the ratio to be right, and as well the industry, the economy. If you're trying to sell a house, that's a problem today. So it's not just affected the hog industry. If we take a look at the JBS numbers for the years going back to 1989, these last 2 years have definitely showed some losses. Now we've returned to good profits, so we're excited about that. But one of the things, if you look at the 2 years of 08 and 09, and you take our averages, so we had, we got $24 a pig on the average. So if you had 1,400 sows and 20 pigs per sow, that's $1 million a year that the industry was losing. Now, by contrast, if you take our records and you take the top 10%, so that's everybody doing everything right, and health cooperating with you, they had 50 cents. So it wasn't much money, but it wasn't $1 million loss. So one of the things that I thought was my job to cover was those that have taken the risk for the last 2 years have not been rewarded. If you're a contract partner and you had a good contract, you were rewarded. So over time, we got to have those things balance out, or there's going to have to be an adjustment. Good partners have great value to the contractors. You help pigs reach their genetic potential, and you help the companies become profitable. So what's all that take? It takes a good environment, good management, commitment, health, nutrition, good record keeping, and genetics. So one of the things, if we go through these barns and we're looking at what we want to see when we go in, we want the lights to work. We want to be able to see the pigs and evaluate them. And I want to make sure that pigs have feed. We're looking for pigs that need to be treated or need to be moved into sick pens. We need to make sure the waters are at the right height. Make sure that there is feed in the feed pan, that sick pigs or pigs that need treated are put in pens where they can be treated. Make sure the gate rods are in. And pigs that need to be euthanized, get euthanized and taken out of those pens. Dead pigs need to be recorded and removed. So the things that I like to see is the farm clean. Is it mowed? Are there any feed spills? Is the rock around the buildings? All of these help with biosecurity as well as make the place look good. Do the doors have latches on them, and can you lock them for biosecurity? Is the bird netting in good shape to keep the birds out? Again, biosecurity. Feed system, do the drops, are they all in place? Our medication, is it stored in a clean facility? Flooring in good repair. Our aisles clean. One of the things that tends to jump out at me, if all of the dust is on the gates, probably nobody's been in the pen. The other part is the air, water, and feed. All of the stages are on, but you come over here and look at the shutters aren't wide open, so as we've got dirty shutters or dirty fans, we're not moving the maximum amount of air. So those are things that a good contract partner keeps up. Again, are the nipples adjusted to the proper height? We have good quality water. With water, is there enough pressure, enough volume, good quality, enough functioning nipples, and are they at the right height? Again, are the gate rods in? Are the pins maintained? Do we have feed? That can be a couple of reasons. It takes planning and management on ordering feed to get the toll mills to be able to get feed when the tanks run empty. Is feed cleaned up in the hallway? You guys are here and you're showing a commitment. And then the other thing that we tend to look at is, are the employees, owners, PQA certified? Do you know the goals of the organization you're working for? And are you committed to these goals? Today there's more and more regulation about being certified, PQA, and the We Care. And a couple of things is it's important do we use antibiotics responsibly in these good production practices? Do we adhere to the proper withdrawal times for antibiotics, properly store and label drugs, medicated feeds? The other one that applies, I think, is on-farm feed and commercial processing. So if we're a toll mill and have contract barns, that applies to us. And the one down there at the bottom you may not be able to read is 10, provide proper swine care and improve swine well-being. The other part of that We Care action plan, I think, is important, is that we're trying to produce safe food, protect and promote animal well-being, and ensure and protect public health, safeguard natural resources, have a safe place for our employees to work, and the other thing we always think about is contributing a better way of life and for our community. The other area that we need to work on, if we haven't got it done, is to get all the employees that we hire or bring on staff and make sure they're PQA Plus certified, and register that premise and make sure it has a premise ID. Of course, the thing that we're all working on today is to get those sites PQA Plus certified. And then if you're using a trucker or you're the trucker, to make sure that you have the PQA certification for those truckers that you're hiring, or if you're doing it. The other part of it is, are you willing to do the job right? One of the things, if you think about time, if we got 1,000 head barn, 5 minutes per pen, 100 minutes per barn per day. So kind of remember that. I'm going to put some numbers to that 100 minutes later on. Commitment. If there's something wrong, out of feed, out of water, do you have the time to fix it? If you can't fix it, do you have people you can call to get it fixed? I think I'd ask myself, if I was only willing to do the job halfway, am I willing to take half my pay? I think that comes back to that as a contract grower and a owner, you got to be working together to get the maximum efficiency out of that. If it's 11 o'clock, have you seen the pics yet today? Pfizer did an excellent job of putting together this individual pick care, so if you're looking for a source or an education, they've done a good job, titled Observe the Barn, Observe the Pen, Observe the Pig, and then to take action. They've also used pictures and just done a real good job, so I think it's a good resource if you're trying to educate your team or yourself. You may not control what we put in the feed, but you definitely control whether they have feed, whether the feeders are adjusted properly, whether bins are cleaned out, whether or not withdrawal times are observed, and to make your facilities better. If you've got tandem bins where you can empty a bin and turn the other one on, you're going to make yourself look a lot more valuable on the bottom line to the contractor. That feeder needs adjusted. Again, on the feed, the right feed delivered at the right time and readily available. A lot of times, especially today with withdrawals, we got to be able to get bins cleaned out and work with the mills to make sure they deliver the right feed to the right bin, because we're counting on being able to sell those animals without residue. Feed orders need to be turned in timely, because it can't be that, they're out of feed, I got to call feed and I can get feed today. Wow. Those toll mills have schedules, and so you got to get that turned in timely. Feeders must be adjustment. Feed equipment needs to deliver feed properly. Can't leak. Feed needs to flow through bins properly, and that comes back to the tandem bins. Proper feed medications included. Minimum number of mycotoxins, that's on there for toll mills that have contract barns, and the right amount of fat, salt, and ingredients gets put into the feed, I think, is another important one. Record keeping. Today, that is really critical. We need stuff written down as you go back and try and keep track or traceability. We want to be able to say that didn't happen, or how did it happen, and how do we fix it. Death sheets need to be filled out. This must be a good barn. There's no deads on there. One of the things that I think we need to do is give feedback to our growers, because if you're producer 1 and you've got a 9% death loss, and producer 2 has a 6, or he's got a 260-pound ending weight, and producer 2 has a 274, you need that feedback. You need to know where you compare to the competition, because these guys have the same pigs, so why is there a difference? It comes back like anything else in whatever business we're in. It's people. Sometimes people will say, hey, if I had a new facility, I could do better, but that's not what I see. We try to put some cost on that. I'd like to go back to that time when we had $10 and feed cost on a weaned pig, but that's 06. We're not going back that direction, are we? On genetics, I think it's interesting. We're trying to get that genetics of the pig to perform at its maximum, so everything needs to be done right as far as feed, environment, health. The other one that's interesting, are you maximizing your own genetic potential as far as doing all you can do to make yourself more valuable? And then, would you hire yourself? You can have a good environment, and you do all those things right: health, nutrition, management. Caregiver's primary responsibility is, like we've kind of covered it, repeating. Fresh air, proper humidity. Humidity is a big factor, especially starting pigs. Get into the summer and you can't control that, but you can in the winter. Feed, water, removal of deads, accurate record keeping, and again, whether it's medications or death loss, all of that is vital to traceability and tracking. Proper sales, there's another big one, trying to get pigs marketed correctly. And again, observation, or taking the time to observe those pigs. It's all about throughput, whether we're talking about pigs weaned or pigs through your facility, pigs in the box. I mean, I'm going to show you a little later where that becomes valuable. And we need to take what we know about individual pigs and apply that to the system to maximize the profitability. We'd like to get 90% profit out of all those pigs. And how do you do that? You got to focus more on narrowing that sort. And an example of that is if we took a look at this live weight and we're coming across here at the top 264 and coming up to 284, and we take our sort loss coming out of here, and we come down to the bottom, margin over feed cost. If we're selling in this 264 to 270 weight range, and we come over here and we add a few more pounds to those pigs, we can add substantial dollars to the bottom line. So that's why we've got to focus on what the customer wants, and our customer's our packer. So we need to find out what his grid or what he wants as far as the pig and how we can maximize our profitability. There's a normal bell curve of selling pigs, and so if you're trying to put those pigs at 270, you can have a pretty big range and have that 270. And what we're really trying to focus on is narrowing up that range, and when we narrow that range, we take that weight higher because we don't have these guys on both ends of it. And each of these dots is representing pigs. So we don't want these pigs out here. We want them all right in this range. That's easier said than done, I know, but there's a difference and a lot of dollars that we can do, and that's why as we get to working with the contract growers and we talk about the importance of, hey, that big guy by me, he can't get by you if he's down here. One of the things that Landco is working on is trying to put some numbers, and so in this case, there's 10,000 head up here at the top. And if you come over here to the standard deviation, we got 33 pounds. So that's pounds difference. If we narrow that to 19, then you come down here, that's 708 a pig. In that barn, that's $70,000 by changing that standard deviation. So that's what I'm referring to as you try to help that contract grower get more money. That should come back and make you a more valuable contract partner. Look at it from that aspect, but then I like to look at it as a total picture. And if we have 100 minutes per day on 1,000 pig barn, and you take that times 365, it's roughly 600 hours. So on a contract barn finisher that's getting $32 a pig space, so he's got 32,000. Really $8.30 of that is all the operating and the depreciation. So times 2.7, that's $22,400. So $22,400 off of that 32,000 he's got as an expense. That's not a new barn, but it's kind of the way I look at things, because I always try to take things back on an hourly basis to see what I'm getting paid. So we've got $22,400 subtracted from our 32, which is $9,600. $9,600 plus that $17,000 is what, $26,600? Divided by 600 hours is $44 an hour. So as I look at it, the contract growers, if they can utilize manure, they're getting paid well. So it's important that if you hire an employee to come in and take care of our pigs, that you got that guy trained He knows what he's doing because he's getting paid well, or you're getting paid well, I should say. I don't know whether he's getting paid well. To all our contract partners and potential partners, we need each other. I think it's we need a place to put our pigs. We need dependable, reliable care and accurate information feedback from you. We want your feed business. We need the pigs to maximize the economies of scale and to keep our packers here in Indiana. And for the contract partners, I think it's good. It diversifies your agricultural expertise without having to take the risk of breed-to-market exposure. To be a player in tomorrow's swine industry by being a critical part of the system without having to face the increasing regulation alone. We already covered that there's a manure value that you can utilize, so it's important that you utilize it, don't just dump it out there. It's a predictable workload. You specialize in an area. One of the things I skipped over that I wanted to cover is in Signature, we have put this contract payment on a matrix. So it's tied to corn, soybean meal, and the lean hog futures. So in times when the market's high, contract partner gets more pay. When we were going through last year, the market's low, he takes a hit. So he's working with us. He is a partner. He's sharing in some of that load, and that's what earlier in a slide it stated up there something that we're going to have to adjust some of this depending on what the margins are. So one of the things I like about it is, hey, if there's good money in the business, share it with the contract grower. If we're all trying to survive, we cut some of those barn rents. So, and together we can make a difference.